Here I present to you the NBA Terror Twinz. Hi, my name is Rotimi. I love basketball. I love to talk basketball, and I hope one day you can share that same love for basketball as I. The NBA has just drafted a pair of twins who are going to be a nightmare for any team on the court. Amen and Ausar Thompson look the same in every way. Height, looks, athleticism, and on the court they share the same defensive tenacity. Their defensive instincts allow them to anticipate steals and deflections with a supernatural intuition. Their on-ball defense makes them a terror to handle against because they will simply strip you of the ball. Their freakish athleticism allows them to jump out the gym and get blocks in the paint, playing effective help defense. They're strong enough to absorb contact and track around screens. More importantly, their effort on defense and their intensity is unmatched. They play with a certain type of pride on defense, always trying to lock someone up. When it comes to defense, it's like they lock you up and swallow the key. Both Amen and Ausar have different playing styles, which remain extremely valuable to the teams that they have been drafted to. Ausar was drafted 5th to the Detroit Pistons in this year's draft. He would average 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists in the Overtime Elite League, along with 2 steals and a block. In the playoffs, he upped his scoring. He would average 21 points and still average 2 steals in the playoffs. Now, he strikes me as an energy type player, a player that's going to give it all and on offense and defense. I'm not saying he is Russell Westbrook, but he strikes me as a type of player that is going to attack the rim with the same type of energy, especially the way he moves around the court with his speed, cutting corners and cutting through lanes. His handle is great and allows him to get to places that he needs to be on the court, and his control allows him to get to those places with speed and power. Ausar is the more elite slasher out of the two. He's more aggressive and he always wants to find a way to score the ball. It's almost like he's lane hunting at times, always looking for an area where he can dunk the ball. And if he doesn't get a dunk at the rim, then he's going to finish with a twisty, nifty, double pump layup off the backboard. His hustle is going to be specifically great for the Detroit Pistons team because they are lacking a player that's willing to get his hands dirty. They've got Cade Cunningham and Jalen Ivey, who they drafted 2 years prior, players that like to remain on ball. They're not known specifically for their defense. But you've got Ausar Thompson that's going to be beneficial to them, willing to get his hands dirty, takes pride in playing defense. He doesn't mind taking on the harder matchup on the night. He's going to be someone that's going to be instrumental to them eventually making it to the playoffs. His off-ball abilities make him a good fit for the Detroit Pistons. Jalen Ivey and Cade Cunningham primarily handle the ball, and that means he's going to be the type of player that's going to be off-ball, willing to cut towards the basket, catch lobs, or camp out on the three-point line. He doesn't mind doing those things because he was not the primary ball handler for his team in the Overtime Elite League. Detroit lack an energy type player, and for a young team, that's essential if you want to get wins. Because at the end of the day, you need someone that's going to be able to sway the momentum. You're going to need someone that's going to be able to get the buckets that no one else is going to get. That's the offensive rebounds. That's the poking the steals and running it on the fast ball. You're going to need a player that's going to be able to play with that willing intensity to change the game and force a win. And this is why I think he's a great fit for the Detroit Pistons. Amen Thompson was drafted 4th to the Houston Rockets in this year's draft. Amen would average 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals a game in the Overtime Elite League. And in the playoffs, he would average 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. His offensive scoring game is very similar to Ausar's. However, he is less of the scorer and more of the playmaker. He is more of an on-ball player, likely to make plays and finish with a circus-like dish at speed. His ability to pass the ball is unique to this generation of players, where we've seen an increase in scorers and a fall in pass-first players. Amen has great vision. Not only will he see the player, but he'll always try and find a creative way to get to that player. Whether that is a no-look pass, a 360 dime, or a wraparound dump-off. The creative aspect of his passing makes for a flashy and exciting game. But more importantly, it shows that he's able to mask his passes in his offensive game. In a league with shooters anywhere, the paint tends to be less crowded, which means that his ability to get to the rim and draw 1 or 2 men allow him to instantly find that person on the outside for a 3-point shot because of his ability to pass and see the open man. As mentioned, he's going to be a good fit for the Houston Rockets. He is a two-way slashing playmaker. He plays his defense, he plays his offense. We have Jalen Green who struggles to play defense. And if we have Amen Thompson now in the lineup, potentially let's see him starting, he can take on the tougher assignment of the night. Not only that, but Jalen Green tends to be a scorer. He doesn't really play make for the team, which means Amen Thompson can take up that duty and he can be the passer for them. Now, people would say, oh, they have Alperen Şengün. Alperen Şengün is a great passer too. Two playmakers on the court is always going to be beneficial for the team because it just means there's going to be higher basketball IQ on the court. Then you have Jabari Smith Jr., who is also going to be a scorer on the court, someone that likes to shoot the ball, and he's a big man as well. That allows for opportunities in the pick and roll. The Rockets is a young team as well with no veteran. It seems like everyone just wants to get shots up. So it's going to be very beneficial to the team to have someone that actually wants to pass the ball and create for the team. This is probably going to put them in a better position to win games as they start to move away from the one-on-one type basketball. I have two main worries though. The Twins' recent stats may be inflated. They are playing in a league that is for players between 16 to 18, which might mean they're playing against weaker, smaller offense. So are they going to be ready to make that transition to the NBA? Are they going to be ready for the physicality? Are we going to see the same defensive reads that they've been making in the past? Are we going to see that in the NBA? I'm not sure. Secondly, their shooting efficiency is abysmal. Amen shoots 25% from free and 65% from the free throw line. Ausar shoots 30% from free and 66% from the free throw line. Being players that like to get to the rim to finish, they are going to get fouled. And when they do get fouled, they need to finish those shots. It turns out they can't even shoot those shots at an effective rate for their coach to want to put them in the game. They're probably not even going to get that many calls. So those free throws that they do get are going to matter. And unless you're shooting them at an efficient clip, you are going to be a liability to the team that you are playing. And talking about liabilities, their three-point shots are so bad. The league is made for three-point shooters, and the only people that aren't expected to make their three-point shots are 6'10" demigods that can dribble all the way to the basket and finish athletically at the rim, i.e. Giannis. But we're talking about players that can force their way to the rim because of how big and strong they are. This is not going to be something that we will see from Ausar and Amen Thompson. So unless they better their shooting side of the game, they again will be a liability to any team because they are unable to space the floor. So let's see what happens, and only time will tell. Thank you very much for tuning in. I plan to do more videos for players that have been drafted into the league. I would really like to hear your thoughts on the Thompson Twins. What you think they're going to do in the league, what they might not do in the league. Please like, comment and share, and until next time.